Hello folks, Typhon Carter here, and I bring to you Smogon Premier League 17. This is a Week 6 matchup between former Golden State Warriors Most Improved Player Award recipient Gilbert Arenas. No, I'm just kidding, it is Marcop everybody, playing for the Cryonicles. He's going to be facing off today against BlazingDark of the Dragonspiral Tyrants. So, the Tyrants, once again, are in a rotating carousel. They've rotated between Ladybug, who has gone 0-3. They went through Tenebris Site, who is 0-2. And now they're at BlazingDark, who is making his season debut. BlazingDark is somebody who traditionally has actually played SPL before for GSC, but he's somebody who's like, a well-rounded player who can kind of pick up whatever you ask him to pick up, and he'll usually hold his own just fine. And he's also like a French player, I think, off the top of my head, which is interesting considering Marco has not had the best stroke of luck handling French players this SPL for whatever reason. So for Marco, it's a good chance for him to kind of break that skid, and if he breaks that, then maybe he'll go off. Anyways, that's it though. Let's jump right into this. Anyways, Tyranitar lead, Gira lead. T-Tar Sandstream up, Intimidate up, so that's a Scarf Tar, and it's probably lacking Stone Edge, which is normally the case for Gira, and then okay, got Stone Edge here, so that did a lot. That looks like it's CV. Anyway, so BlazingDark with the Breloom or BD, and with a defensive Gyarados and a Donphan. This looks like a Ladon squad, or at least a Ladon inspired idea. With the Donphan, defensive Gyarados, Breloom, I would not be surprised if there's like a Latias in the back, probably a Registeel, because why not? And then the Metagross is gonna come in, could threaten a T-Punch here, but it's just gonna trick, get the Iron Ball on the Donphan, which is actually gonna be important because the Donphan means it can actually get worn down. And okay, the Gyarados was CV, so nothing too surprising so far. And Breloom's gonna come in here. It's gonna threaten a Seed Bomb or a Leech Seed because, there's no sleep. Facade's there. This is offensive Breloom on this 6. Anyways, Tyranitar's gonna come in here, and BD's actually playing pretty well so far. Like to protect here, so that he can cover whatever the Latias tries to do. For Marcop, this is actually a pretty rough position to get yourself into in this early game because while you do have the Metagross, which can at least make some sense of progress against what BD has shown so far, the problem here is the fact that you're kind of in a bad spot against something like a Donphan, which despite losing its lefties, means that you can at least wear it down. The Gyarados still looks very hard to break through. If this Latias has Healing Wish, then you better show it. And Marcop's gotta have his own Donphan, and okay, so you gotta get knocked off here. And gotta just try to get as much damage as possible with the EQ because, the damage will stick. So both Donphans actually wearing each other down pretty early on. And great entry point there by Marco, bringing the Gyarados into a Donphan right as it Stealth Rocks. BD might actually be in trouble now. And Breloom's gonna come in, try to cover the Gyarados. Actually covers a lot of things on Marco's team, but wait, is this? This is that BKC set that's been going around, where he showed it off a while back in Invitational, where the idea is simple. You just you Facade, Protect, Bulk Up. Basically, this makes Breloom extremely hard to kill. Now, if this is the case, BlazingDark probably has a Tyranitar in the back, because otherwise, if you don't have that, the problem is that, you know, something like a like, what do you call it? Oh my god, I'm losing words right now. But yeah, you basically want something like a Tyranitar in the back, because something like Gengar would actually sit on it. Like, sure, you could leech seed it on the switch, but like long term, you need something more than just leech seeding on the switch. You need something that doesn't require you to get every turn correct. Anyway, so Tyranitar's got Stealth Rocks up, knowing that the Breloom lacks an actual move that can actually hurt it for significant damage. Marco's going to sacrifice that. Great bulk up there by BD to try and force some pressure. And oh, but Infernape's going to come in. Infernape actually can do... Okay, yeah, there's the Overheat. Overheat's going to do a lot to his Breloom, so he's trying to force BD to actually switch out. You gotta pivot back into Tyranitar. Oh, into a Donphan. That's actually a really good entry point. And the Tyranitar just got crunched down on this Breloom. And gonna go into Donphan. So it's gonna get leech seeded, which, but the Donphan can spin it away, which by proxy means that you get rid of the leech seed. Right now, Marco just wants to make sure hazards stay off. And yeah, so he lives that, gets rid of the leech seed, which is important. And for Marcop, the highest priority is actually making sure the Donphan doesn't come in. And now the Metagross can actually do things. Here, Meteor Mash is there, gets a huge mash raise. And that mash raise is going to be tremendous because of the fact that, one, you can actually KO the Breloom. You're going to go into Infernape here, so some good pivoting here from Marco. Close combats here, trying to conserve Overheat PP, but BD will probably go into Donphan here. Yeah, just to sack it. Oh, but that miss is kind of annoying. And Grass Knot is revealed. So the last move is probably U-turn, but Marco could be running like Grass Knot plus Hidden Power Electric. Doesn't look like that's the case. However, this Metagross coming in here, if it has T-Punch, it can threaten that. And BlazingDark is going to bring out his own Metagross. And just got to try to trade down with EQ. So both metas doing significant damage, but BD is at risk of being KO'd, but instead BD's going to protect here, and Latias is going to Healing Wish into the Metagross, which is a fantastic... Oh, blocks the Toxic. So, Toxic Metagross has been kind of re-emerging as a set post-Breloom ban because it lets you nail something like Rotom on the Switch, which is normally a huge hindrance to Metagross, so that's one reason why you might be seeing that. Gonna take out the meta, and it is now a tied ball game, but Gyarados is going to only take 16%. It's probably going to rest the next turn. So the question is, how are you going to break this? You could explode here, that's an option. Gets full parrot, we don't know what the move is going to be. And yep, there's the Sleep Talk, there's the rest. Meteor Mash is here. And Sleep Talks again doesn't get anything. How is BD going to navigate this? Or rather, how is Marco going to manage this pretty rough situation unless he's trying to condition BD to open himself up to a T-Punch? Or an explosion, like maybe... I'm not really sure. Our falls again. Okay, so there's the explode. Gets rid of Gyarados. Marco really needed that. Oh, Tyranitar's gonna be sent out here. And straight into Donphan. And Infernape's gonna come out here. And Breloom will probably get murked on the way in. Tyranitar's already taken hazard damage, which means that, you know, something like Mach Punch actually has a real shot of KOing Tyranitar at like 76%, I think, off the top of my head. Depends on spreads, but if this is a Scarf Tar, then, you know, if you're Marco, you should be feeling pretty good. Oh. Mach Punch is here, okay. Oh wait, but the last is Superpower T-Tar. Superpower is here. Question is BD's Tyranitar also super Scarf? Oh, he says no custom, and he says GG. So Marco is going to survive this, and from what I can tell, that Tyranitar, that lead tar was Scarf. For BlazingDark, I think the turning point of the match that basically lost him the game, because he did have a very commanding lead for much of the game, like in terms of pace and in terms of, you know, who was gonna win. The thing here is that I think the Gyarados being exploded on by the Metagross was probably what sealed the deal. And then, but you know, you might say, could BlazingDark have brought the Magneton in on like a Meteor Mash entry? Because that was all Marco was doing for a while, was I think he just wanted BD to get comfortable staying in, and because of that, that meant that, you know, the Magneton couldn't really trap it. I mean, the Metagross was at like 43, so I mean, yeah, BD was using his timer for a fair bit of the game, so it wasn't like he was like rushing through this. I just wonder if it crossed his mind to like go Magneton and then try to cover the explosion play, because I think because this is like lefty's meta, it's likely that the meta did not have enough, you know, probably wouldn't have outright KO'd the Magneton. It would have done a lot for sure, and that meant that Infernape was going to still be a problem. But the thing with Infernape was the fact that you still had something like a defensive Gyarados alive that could, like, you know, just sit on Infernape. But again, if the Infernape set was oh wait, no, it was not Hidden Power Electric plus Grass Knot, it was Mach Punch Blast, which you know, I just covered. But the other thing I would say was that, yeah, that's probably the best. Like, if you keep the defensive Gyarados alive, BlazingDark's probably winning this more often than not. So Marco did a good job, like, just conditioning him to get to that point where, you know, he's like a little too comfortable staying in. But yeah, so pretty good game by both players. Liked what I saw out there, and I think, you know, maybe there's a light at the end of the tunnel for the Tyrants' DPP slot to finally get a win. But that being said though, if you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.